everyone, Jennifer here. I haven't been on for quite a while, but I wanted to start getting on and making videos again, talking about the energy, the energetic aspect and the shifts that we're experiencing right now. And I wanted to come to these energetic shifts, not from the point of prediction or from the point of, oh my gosh, everything is falling apart, but really from the point of how do we ride this out with grace and with ease? Because the reality of it is the world as we know it is shifting dramatically. And honestly, we've gone past the point of no return. This is not the sky is falling prediction. It's just there's a lot of old systems and old beliefs that really needed to be dismantled in order for humanity to rise, in order for humanity to evolve. And it sounds very not grounded in that it's like this big awakening that's happening. But I wanted to bring it down to earth, bring it down to who we are, come to the core of what we are as humans. Because there's this misconception that awakening is like, oh, the angels sing, you light up from within, something magical happens, you start spraying magic with your hands. I don't know, there's a lot of misconception as to what is awakening. But really, awakening is a very subtle process. It's like the flower that's blooming. There's no, it's not like fireworks that's like in your face and loud. No, it's that flower that's quietly blooming in the dawn hours. It's just blossoming forth. And when you find it, all you see is this magnificent beauty in front of you. But it wasn't loud. It wasn't trying to call for your attention. It's just that flower being itself, being its flower self. And so that's what awakening is for humanity. It's us becoming human again. Right? A lot of systems that are in place lost touch with our human nature. It lost touch because it was too focused on restriction. It was too focused on being reductionist, right? We're so used to germ theory and really just diving into this germ and how it comes into the cell, but we forgot about this whole body. Like before the germ got into this, so there's a lot of reductionism happening, but the way to move through this phase with a lot of grace and ease is to become whole again, right? To embrace the whole of who we are, in body, mind, and spirit. And it's nothing religious, nothing woo-woo. It's really like that spirituality and the connection, that is our basic human nature. And how do we come to this place where we're reconnecting with our basic human nature? And it's coming into our body because throughout our lives, we've been taught that we have to be everything except me. We have to be everywhere except here in our body. Think about the letter I. The letter I is actually, I don't know if it was an accident or the letter I is straight up and down. Right, so it's about bringing that alignment back into that vertical channel of ours. The letter I. I am here. I am. Becoming that I am. And recollecting all the parts of ourselves to be here in this point zero. When we're here, when we're fully here, we're in a 0 point. There is no good or bad. There is no time, space, continuum. We are here. We are present. And there's a lot of things that are going to be uncomfortable. It's going to jilt you a little because the outer world, there's a lot of chaos because things are crumbling. When things fall apart, there's chaos. But the reality of it is chaos doesn't have to affect us. It doesn't have to push us around, because if your eye is straight up and down, not horizontal, not spread out all over like confetti, if your eye is vertical and in this vertical channel, then you are aligned, you are coming back, you're bringing back all the parts and pieces. And I'll come on more to talk about different ways of bringing that I back together. But one of the things I wanted to talk about today is something that I even had a hard time wrapping my head around, right? You may have noticed that several years back, I put on my Instagram that I'm an energy alchemist. And honestly, at that point, I didn't even know why I was putting that I was an energy alchemist. What the heck is an energy alchemist? Why did I even come up with that term? I don't know. If you asked me in 2018 why I said I was an energy alchemist, I'm just like, yeah, I alchemize energy. And part of me probably believed that I was gonna like hocus pocus something and something will come out of it. I don't know. But the reality of it is, now that I've spent a lot more time sitting with this alchemical nature, every single one of us is an energy alchemist. Every single one of us. Actually, any living creature, whether it be animals, humans, plants, anything that breathes is an energy alchemist. That is just the basic nature of living beings. If you think about it in a very simple format, we breathe in air and we take in the oxygen, we expel CO2. The trees outside breathe in air, they keep the CO2 and expel out O2. That is an alchemical exchange. We're bringing in something, we're putting out something. We're bringing in something, we're putting out something. Very gross example, think about your poop. You eat food and it comes out the other end as poop. That is alchemy, okay? Honestly, we alchemize day in and day out, but we do it mindlessly. We just, whatever, we're just here, we're alive, that's it, we're breathing. But I want to challenge you to do it with more intention. Breathe with more intention. Maybe poop with more intention. Eat with more intention. Every single thing you do in life, do with more intention. And one of the things I've been really inspired by, I think I saw it with Lori Ladd, and it was mentioned by Dr. Christiane Northrup, is that our voice is an alchemy, right? Is a alchemical tool. If you think about it, what is voice? Voice is sound. What is sound? Wavelengths. What is wavelength? Energy, right? So with our voice, we can alchemize. And one of the really important things that I've been working with people recently in our private sessions is talking about being able to express, being able to speak what we feel. Because by speaking, we are alchemizing. I know I talked about poop earlier, I'm gonna talk about farts. Think about it. If you fart, it's gonna dissipate into the room, and yeah, it'll stink up the room a little bit, but eventually it'll dissipate and it'll be gone. Because the universe, the space around us is so large that it can transmute and transform that fart, right? Same thing with our voice. If you speak it out, it's out in the open to be transmuted, to be transformed. If you kept that fart in you, it's gonna make you really uncomfortable. Actually, a lot of times it's not even voluntary because we're not conscious of we're not conscious, we're not being very intentional with what we're doing. Right? We're not being intentional with our word, we're not being of integrity with our words sometimes, right? We stuff it back in. Oh, that's not, people don't wanna hear me say that, stuff it back in. Oh, I don't think I should rock the boat, stuff it back in. I'm not saying that we should rock the boat. I'm not saying that we should create conflict. If it's something that you feel more comfortable speaking by yourself and going into your backyard or taking a hike to the highest point you can and saying it out loud so that it can be alchemized into the air, into the collective, do so. Find a space. And as you learn to speak your voice, as you learn to say things, then it gives you the power to be able to say it in situations where you feel uncomfortable, right? And you say it from a place not of conflict. We're not here to be conflict makers. We are here to be peacemakers. We're here to open the conversation, even the really uncomfortable conversation, right? And so as we speak out loud, we first do so by practicing on our own. Lock yourself up in the bathroom and say, I have fear, or I have shame, anything uncomfortable, right? Or actually, I don't like something that somebody said, right? Or something comfortable, I love myself. Actually, for a lot of people, I love myself is a very uncomfortable thing to say. But love yourself. That is the ultimate self-love, self-care. I love myself. I am me, right? And speaking these truths, speaking what you feel, speaking what makes you feel challenged, speaking that out, I don't know if wearing a mask is the right thing. Speaking that out loud, allowing that I don't know. I feel ashamed that I think differently than other people. Letting that shame have its place. You're allowing, you're acknowledging, and you're accepting, right? And I'm going to challenge you to take it one step further. Send it love, whatever is uncomfortable, whatever doesn't feel right. What is wrong with me? Say it out loud. What is wrong with me? And then you say, I love what is wrong with me. Right? I have so many fears. Right? I have so many fears. Acknowledge these fears. And then sit with it. And as you sit with it, I have so many fears. Saying it out loud. I have so many fears. You don't even have to name your fears. Right? And from that point, then you can turn it into acceptance. Utter acceptance with unconditional love. There's no place for darkness to live if you shine it with love. And darkness will always exist because there is day and there is night. If there was day past 12 hours, I mean, if today at 3 a.m. there's still daylight in San Jose, California, I'm not talking about Alaska or further up, but if the sun never set, there is something wrong. So there's nothing wrong with having darkness or things that are uncomfortable, but we have to speak it out. We have to speak it out to alchemize it. We have to embrace our alchemical nature of who we are. And in doing so, we transmute, not only for ourselves, but the world, right? We've been taught all this time that to save the world, we have to go outside to do something. But that's not the truth. Maybe it is. But right now, in this very moment that you are watching this video, the way to save the world is to transform yourself. By transforming ourselves, the world around us naturally transforms. We save the world by finding inner peace. We save the world by creating that alignment to the I. We save our world by being present. And honestly, the world doesn't need you to save it. You need you to save yourself. If every single one of us took ownership of who we are, of how we feel, that will transform the world in an instant. But we're so busy about caring about what other people are, what other people feel. Is this good? Is this bad? How do I make other people, everything is about what's outside and nothing is about what's inside. So I challenge you this week to turn the narrative inward and to speak out loud what you feel and to unconditionally love every aspect of yourself. Right? If you feel guilty about doing something, I feel guilty. Say it out loud. I feel guilty. Say it out loud with conviction. Then you change the narrative. I love my guilt. Your body's going to be like, ooh, what the hell did I just say? Why would I say something like that? But I love my guilt. Right? Saying something like that alchemizes the guilt and allows you to tap into your infinite nature, your limitless nature. And in doing so, as you keep doing this, you begin to transform. And everything you touch, actually, this is the real Midas touch. It's not about turning things into gold. It's about realizing this darkness within, allowing it the space to exist, really looking at it, taking it front and center, and giving it unconditional love, not judging it for what it is. And that will change the world. If you change your inner world, it will change the world on the outside. And it's extremely crucial at this point because our world is at a crux, right? Everything is shifting very rapidly. Between now and the end of the year, and probably the beginning of next year, there's no rest for the weary. But that doesn't mean you have to be weary, right? And if you're weary, rest. Nobody said you can't rest. If you feel uncomfortable, sit with it. Really be present with every single thing you feel. It's not bad to feel uncomfortable. It's not bad to have bad feelings. Allow that to flow through you. Allow that to flow with the collective, with our world around us. And send it love. Whatever is uncomfortable, send it love. Right? And we can coexist in this world of love. And as you do that, you'll start to blossom from the inside out. You become that beautiful rose that nobody really took notice when it was a bud or when it was just suddenly one day people are like, wow, where did this rose come from? It's just so beautiful and so magnificent. Let's fill this world with roses. Let's fill this world with our true nature. Let's reclaim our humanity. Sending you all so much love. Thank you for bearing with me for about 16 minutes. But it's totally worth it. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think, or send me a message if you have any questions. I will see you soon.